If you could change bodies with somebody, why would it be your mother? Hey, yo, what's up guys and welcome to Cross Signals! This game is like Freaky Friday. I lie emotionless in bed, not because I'm sleeping, but because I don't want to get up. That's me every morning, but I have my phone on my hand. Faint photos of classmates discuss the weather, current events and upcoming tests. Am I a college guy? That's me! Mom, that's me! Scrolling through social media before I get up has become routine. For you, for me, and for everybody else. Time to buy a new phone, buddy. The only thing it's good for is checking the time. My first class isn't until 12:30. Buddy, I also need to buy a new phone. I have had this phone for like 7 years. It's ancient at this point. That's me sometimes as well. Ah! Wow, who's coming in? Oh, is that my pal? Dude! BBC incoming! My roommate Eric. Dude, that's Michael B. Jordan. Morning, dude. Showers are clear if you want to jump in before we get food. Thanks for the heads up. Eric's an up-and-coming star of the university football team. Despite his impressive stature, he is in it for the scholarship. He could easily play for a D1 school if he wanted, but he didn't want his entire life to revolve around sports. But he's in college for football, right? I'm not complaining. In the year I've known him, we've become great friends, landing in our dorm and grinding through code projects. Football or engineer? Why is he so much taller than me? If I were to look in his direction, I'd get an especially good view of his butt, but I opt to be set to check my phone. Who cares, man? Yep, still broken. He's dressed up. Why are we acting like he's not dressed up? Man, that thing's in rough shape. When you gonna replace the screen? Whoa, we like the same height. I don't know, I don't exactly have a lot of money. Plus, it feels like at a certain point, it costs more to repair it than to just buy a new one. Yeah, plant obsolescence and all that. Just 1 year and all of a sudden, they don't even make off the parts anymore. Maybe I can find something used at a second-hand store or on an online marketplace. I bet there's a ton of people trying to offload their old tech now that the latest new shiny came out. You know those people that buy the new iPhone every year? You stupid. He takes a seat at his desk and boots up Sun Crash. What game is that? Can you tell me? I'm gonna get a quick ladder match in. Let me know when you're done sharing and we can grab something to eat. Sure. What showers are this? The showers aren't too busy. I don't want to walk on a tile floor that less hygienic residents definitely pee on while showering. Well, the positive part? The water clears the pee, right? But do we shower in front of the other guys? Because I don't want to shower in front of other guys. My name is Sam Lane or something else. What was my first name again? Long Nipples. And last name? Big Balls. Right, Long Nipples Big Balls. The name my parents gave me. The name I've gone by for 21 years. I'm a second-year computer science student at West University, so not engineer, located on the east side of Grand Rapids, Michigan. In fact, I submitted my first code assignment of the semester last night. I racked my brain for any other assignments due. I have today's calculus assignment finished, though I have yet to tackle tomorrow's, and English has a rough draft too today. I give myself a few more minutes under the water and relax. Apart from the broken phone, today is shaping up to be a good day. The best day of them all! Whoa, we're outside, this is cool. Why didn't the shower have a playground? We just barely make it in time for breakfast and swap in with our student IDs. The meal plan lets you eat buffet style. It's not a particularly good buffet, but food is food and we're both poor college students. We find an empty table after loading our plates with scrambled eggs, toast, sausage and some mixed fruit. I like American breakfast. That's like lunch. You get your Python project accepted before the deadline? Yeah, just barely. I was out until like 11 in the labs. I practically held my breath the entire time. Boots, test, suits, ran against it, all green. The actual code is a mess though. I wasn't really thinking about it while I was trying to get it working and now everything's so tangled, I'm not even sure when I start pulling things apart. You know how Booth gets about cleanliness. Don't remind me, I can already imagine their feedback. Though, hopefully it'll come out to at least a solid B. Hey, if it works, it works. Right? We only need the solid B. My eyes drift towards the cafeteria entrance. A girl with a ribbon in her hair briskly strides in, swipes her ID and grabs some pre-packaged snacks from a bowl. Is that my college crush? I only know her as that cute girl from my math class at the moment. She's thick, man! While there are plenty of pretty girls at school, there's a quality that draws me to her in particular. Maybe it's her kind, warm face. Or maybe it's how fastidious she is in class, and how she always seems to have somewhere to be. Even though we've never exchanged words, I feel like we could be friends. Or something more! Buddy, let's go! That's my boy. What? You know exactly what. Have you talked to her yet? No, I have not talked to her yet. She's single. How would you know? I can just tell, I've got a sense for it. Dude, are you serious right now? Well, maybe I don't want to risk embarrassing myself just because you since she might be single. Sure, but what's worse? Embarrassment or never finding out what could have been? He has a point, but the last thing I want to do is admit it. Unfortunately, my reaction betrays me. What would we even talk about anyways? The weather, homework, anything. You're in college. Talk about classes, I don't know. Yeah, isn't that incredibly boring? Doesn't have to be. Besides, you've gotta start somewhere. That's easy for you to say. I've spotted 3 different girls drooling over you just in this room. Listen, everyone has a type. I just happen to fall into a particularly popular one. But don't worry. Appa! Oh, my shoulder, bro! You're somebody's type too, you just have to find them. And you think that by talking to enough girls I barely know about boring stuff like the weather, one will eventually decide I'm her type? Yes, actually, yeah. Now you're getting it! Yesterday Eric bust our table, so today is my turn. Thanks, man. Don't mention it. I gotta use the can real quick. When I meet up outside, works for me. As I exit the cafeteria, I see a woman leaning against a lamppost in the main quad, wearing designer everything and glaring at her phone. I know his type now, and the type is thick. I don't recognize her anywhere. Violet Birch, Eric's girlfriend. Of course he has a blonde girlfriend that looks like this. She glances up at me for a moment before returning to whatever social media feed she's scrolling through. It's about as much acknowledgement as I expect. I feel the urge to stare, but I don't want to give her a bad impression. Am I that close to her that I cannot stare? I feel like there has to be some way to engage with her on this. She clearly spends a lot of work on her aesthetic, and I see girls compliment her each other on their looks all the time. Hey girl! You're amazing today! That's how you compliment a girl. But I feel like if I were to do the same, they either get labeled as gay or a creep. Thankfully, I don't have to wait long for Eric. Why'd you keep me waiting so long, babe? I can't help but shake the feeling that she's marking a territory. She can have Eric all for herself, honestly. And given the fact that she's devoted her full attention to Eric, I'll allow myself another glance at her backside. Stop staring at your best friend's girlfriend. Sorry, God got up chatting with long nipples. You're always welcome to join us. The cafeteria food's not all bad, but we're poor. I don't think she likes poor people. You know I have a, special diet and junk. School cafeterias have way too many processed foods, not to mention all the dairy. I have a sneaking suspicion she'd just rather not be seen eating with the pores. Eric, I don't like your girlfriend. Yeah, I'm barely getting up early enough for practice. Couldn't imagine getting even earlier for one of your cafes. Do they serve dinner? We could go after class. Long nipples could join us. I'm gonna join the popular kids? Oh, I suppose I might be nice. Cafe Canal is a bit pricey, and while I'm happy to cover Ricky, I can't pay for everyone. Yes, you can, shut up. Bum, are you sure there isn't any place cheaper? Long Nipples and I still need to celebrate finishing that damn Python project. The idea of eating with the Eric Violet power couple is very, very low on my list of things I'd like to do with my evening. Don't worry about me, I still need to save my money to replace this phone, remember? She's happy that I'm not going with them. Alright, maybe next time then. Next time! I don't engage with poor people. Goodbye! Now come on, Eric! I want some alone time before class! Bye! You stole my best friends! Is this class? A brief walk down to the math and science building takes me to the lecture room of my first class of the day. Is this what they teach in college? 2 plus 2 is 5? E equal motorcycle square? Is that our professor? Good afternoon, Mr. Big Balls. I'm telling you, man, busty ones. I've heard stories of guys taking your class, so they'd have something nice to look at, only to drop out when they couldn't handle her workload. Can she handle my load though? For me, it was the only slot that didn't conflict with another class. Good afternoon. I smile meekly and drop my assignment into the bin. I pass the cute girl I saw during breakfast as I make my way to an open seat. She's always sitting in the front row and working on the next assignment. Today is no exception. I hope to sit a few rows back, though not directly behind her. Sitting directly behind her would be weird, probably. Good afternoon, class! Today we'll be continuing our work with the integrals. But first, we have time to discuss 2 problems from the current assignment. Assignments are due 2 class days after they assigned in a system. It lets students work on the homework and ask questions before turning it in. While assuming you don't wait until the last minute to start, while I started out on pace, that good project caused me to fall behind. Well, that and my recent Dark Souls binge. Well, a game that I know now. Yes, Mr. Miller? Yeah, I I was wondering about problem 34. Rule 34? That's a good one. One of my favorites from the assignment, in fact. What was your question? I wasn't sure where to start. I see. In that case, we'll begin by restating the question. We're looking to calculate the area between these two parabolas. Can anyone else tell us where we ought to start? Yes, Miss Winters. We need to calculate where the two lines intersect by solving for when they're equal. That's exactly right, Miss Winters. Now let's proceed to today's topic. Would everyone please turn to page 422 of their textbooks? How big are those books though? Now that we're comfortable with finding the areas of two-dimensional shapes, it's time to apply these same principles to the third dimension. These are going to be such a pain to draw. It's only an hour until the period ends. By the time the bell rings, I'm ready to go back to sleep. For Wednesday's homework, please solve the even-numbered problems for chapter 6.2, along with problems 11 and 17. Have a good afternoon! Good afternoon, bye-bye! I'm going. If I want to talk to her, I'll need to be fast. Miss, I realize I only know her last name, but calling her that sounds so lame. I said I like to make noise in her general direction and hope she takes a hint. Buddy, I'm here! She glances behind her and we lock eyes. I'm dumbstruck. I finally have the attention of a girl I like and my mind is a barren wasteland, not a thought to be found. It's only been a few moments but she's already fidgeting in place. She clearly has somewhere to be and I'm holding her up. Did you, catch that assignment? Oh yes, chapter 6.2, even numbered problems, plus problems 11 and 17. And it's you Wednesday. Though I guess that's obvious. Thanks. I'm Luke Nipples, by the way. Jenny Winters, nice to meet you. Oh, sorry, was there anything else? I need to go run an errand before my next class starts. Oh, right, sorry. Bye. Bye. We might have only changed 3 sentences, but at least I know her name now. Good old reliable English, just as unremarkable as it was in high school. There's a good 5 minutes before class starts, so I pull my NL time killer out of my pocket. I wake up from sleep and I'm met with the same busted screen from this morning. Back in my pocket it goes. The third-story view of campus provides some alternative entertainment. Students walk to and from the different buildings. Others sit in the grass and eat lunch with their friends. Amongst the picnickers, I spot several couples. Some just sit closer than necessary. Others have their arms around each other. At least one couple has decided this is the perfect time and place to swap spit. It makes me yearn for my own girlfriend. Someone to share lunch with and be intimate with, and swap spit with them as well. Someone who likes me for me. A pit of want and loneliness forms in my stomach. I know I'll need to shake the feeling or I'll get in one of those moods. I break my gaze away from the window and instead watch the remaining student body trickle in, or at least the half that are women. Each contains the potential for a connection, a relationship, but I don't know their names, their tastes, or if they're already seeing someone. Collecting that information feels not only daunting, but wrong. I'd be imposing. Oh my god, not her! I spot a familiar face, though it's not one I'm happy to see. There's no acknowledgement of my existence, not the expected one. It's strange to think that she's dating my friend, yet we never talk to each other. I may be a computer nerd, but so is Eric. The only difference is that Eric is out and plays sports. Though, after spelling that out, it makes sense we never talk. I should ask Eric what he sees in Violet beyond their looks. Then again, if looks are really all he sees, I wouldn't blame him. If a pretty girl was interested in me, it'd take a lot to dissuade me. Afternoon everyone! We've got a lot to cover today, so let's get right into things. Does everyone have their essay drafts ready? Wonderful! I see everyone has something prepared. Now it's time for the next step. Peer review. Could you please pair off within each row to trade? I'm gonna trade with her, right? Looks like we partners, straight? Oh, sure. Thanks! This week's assignment was to write a short personal story on something that you consider to be an accomplishment. Hence why I chose building my first computer. Reviewing Violet's submission, I realized it's my chance to learn something personal about her. Making cheer was not easy, nor was helping to the role of captain. Yet I did it, and now I'm leading my girls to winning the state. White meetups while also cheering on my boyfriend at home games. Cheerleading. Of course it's about cheerleading. That's how she and Eric met after all. I catch a grammatical error here and spelling error there as I explore this glimpse into Violet's life. From an early age, I was always very athletic. I started gymnastics when I was only 6 years old, then ballet when I was 10. Her writing isn't bad by any means. It's a little tense in places and it's very much a first draft, but she expresses herself well. By the end of the paper, I have a clear picture of how she'd come to lead her squad. I'm done. Looking over my corrected essay, I realize it's the most information we've ever changed about each other. Thanks to this exercise, Violet had to read something about me. My introduction to gaming through finding my dad's old Super Nikkei Kan in a closet, trips to second-hand stores and browsing online marketplace for cheap retro games. Learning about the world of PC gaming around the time I was growing computer literate. Setting a budget and asking for online help on what parts fit my needs. Having a computer sitting in my closet for 6 months while waiting for my next birthday to roll around so I could afford the rest. Finally getting that glass piece and assembling the entire thing. The drop in my gut when it didn't power up, followed by the elation when I realized the power supply was off. Due to the nature of this assignment, she had to at least acknowledge all that information. She must have seen that part of me. I wonder if she cares in the slightest about my story. I don't care about hers. I review my paper one more time and find a couple mistakes Violet missed. I marked them up myself. Without a phone, I resort to dawdling in the margins of my notebook. I'm no artist, but I've gotten pretty good at drawing boxes and cool S's. Make sure you keep that markup copy. It'll be due alongside your second draft, which takes those edits into account. Now, on to today's lecture. Now, I hope you and your peer review partner got along, because your time together isn't quite over yet. You'll be working together on a research paper covering a topic of your choice. And remember, published sources only. No Wikipedia's or BuzzFeed's or Twitter's here. Sorry, but you can't just ask those technical marvels in your pockets to do everything for you. Sometimes you have to do things old school. Shut up! I will use ChatGPT. And besides, we have a beautiful library. You should see it. You have the last 10 minutes of class to discuss what you like to write about with your partner. I expect everyone to have a topic prepared for our next class. Have fun! Hey again! She's making eye contact with me. So, what do you think we should write about? You'll need to be whatever's available at the library, I imagine. I don't know what he thinks we're going to figure out by like just talking. We could at least come up with some high-level ideas. What kind of subjects are you interested in writing about? All of the places I read from just got banned, so I'm not sure. A bunch of crusty old guys aren't going to peer review articles on the new line coming from LV or who's getting voted out this week on Big Brother. You like that computer stuff, right? I bet there's tons of articles on computer stuff. Maybe you can do that. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'm sure there'll be something interesting to find in there. I think a bit as I realized Violet said you instead of we. What would you be working on? The paper, silly. You do the research and I'll write the paper. Well, help with writing the paper. The paper is going to be most of the work. Plus, I bet the research will be really easy since it's something you're already interested in. We don't have to make it about computers. Maybe we should find some common ground? Sure, watch reality TV? No? Can you name any of the brands you're wearing? Hands? Ever been to Cancun? I've never left Michigan. Well, other than driving to the UP through Wisconsin, you don't just take Mechanic Bridge? When you're driving from Kalamazoo to Wakefield, the bridge is slower, assuming you're up early enough to beat the Chicago traffic. And from your complexion, I bet you do more driving around than swimming in the Great Lakes. Any hobbies other than computers? I, used to run in high school, I guess? Not anymore? No? How about we meet at the library tomorrow? Then we can figure out exactly what's available and who's best suited for what job. Sure, I can make that work. She writes her phone number on the corner of her notebook and tears it off. I do the same and enter my own. Her face seems to say, this is just for the project. Don't call me for any other reason. Got it. I wouldn't. You my best friend's girlfriend. I leave English feeling uneasy about our arrangement. Violet is clearly trying to get out of committing to anything, but I don't know how to push back. It feels like she already dislikes me, and I don't want to make things worse when she's dating my friends. I hate them already. Vivi, I'm so glad we caught you. The shorter one is vibrating with the energy of a kid that overdosed on the candy. What's up? There's a flash sale at Alfonso's and Bruce saw at least 5 pairs of shoes with your name on them. They have so many cute boots. Oh my god, let's go! Bye, leave. They all turn with a level of grace that will make you think they're all runaway models. If I felt like Violet and I were miles apart before, seeing her with her friends makes it more like planets apart. Guys, I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna say here for cross signals. We didn't get to the part where they swapped bodies, but if you guys want me to continue this, we will get there eventually. But if you don't want to miss that, don't forget to subscribe, say good,